All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Welcome to a brand new series. This is our Gold Rush or Bust gameplay series. I am the Ultra Farmer, and we have currently staked a plot of land way out in the backcountry along a river where there's said to be a bunch of gold. We've got to dig up this riverbank and try and find the pay dirt and hopefully get gold out of it. I say hopefully because I've literally spent every last penny that I have. I have $0 to my name to get a truck, trailer, some diesel, this front end loader, a chainsaw, and basically a dream. I got this plot of land. There's been a road that's built out there, a very kind of like narrow goat trail, and we've also had a small shipping container brought out there for us to stay in. Currently, right now, we got a small sawmill out there that I'm hopefully going to be able to start building some planks, some beams that we can sell off and start getting some cash scraped together so we can buy an excavator. Our main goal, our very main goal is we need an excavator so we can start digging up this riverbank and hopefully strike it rich. Lots of work to do. Let's get into the truck. I want to get down to the ferry. The first ferry crosses the river at 5:30 a.m. We're up early. We got to get out there and we got to get to work. Okay, we are heading out, and I'm going to explain a few things along the way. So yes, I have staked a claim on a plot of land. It's quite a large chunk of land, but it cost us a whole bunch of money. And like I said, I spent every penny that we have. We have $0 to our name. I have no loans taken out, but there's no bank around here, so we can't take out a loan even if we want to. We have to figure out a way to make it. Now, I have done some things to hopefully set us up for success. One thing being having a sawmill kind of constructed out there. Now, this is a very small sawmill, which it won't really matter because anything's going to help at this point. And if we can refine some of the lumber that's going to be on this plot of land to create some planks, to create some beams that we can sell off, we'll start generating some cash. Now, I have a shipping container that we had brought out there for us to stay in. Believe me, this is not the Hilton residence, I promise you that. But it's going to get us by. We've got a place to stay out there, at least a spot to keep the rain off our head, and somewhere to sleep. I also got a small little production facility set up out there that hopefully we can take some gravel and potentially start doing some cement in the future and build a foundation for a cabin. The plot of land that we have is beautiful. It's truly beautiful, and I think if with enough work, enough dedication, we'll be able to really create a nice, beautiful spot for us out there. But right now we have $0. We have $0. We have to get out there and we have to get to work. We've got to start cutting down some trees and getting some planks and stuff refined. We're getting to the ferry at the perfect time here. Look at that. It's sitting there ready to go for us. So I just got to hop out here and oh no, looks like the gate's already up. They open it right at 5:30. They're right on time here. I just got to make sure we don't drive across. So right across the river here is our plot of land. Now I'm just going to jump out here and run back over and just get this thing going. Oh, we got to pull ahead just a little bit more. Got to pull ahead just a little bit more here, and then they'll let us cross. Let's jump out. Leave that running for a second. We'll hop in. Maybe it's not going to let us go. There we go. Okay, there we go. So yes, while we're crossing here, I'm going to jump in the truck. We'll shut her down for a second, and I'll jump into the map and I'll show you. This is the plot of land that we have right now, currently. So we have quite a bit of land. We got 190 acres that we bought, and it cost us just over $500,000, which again was like everything that I could scrape together, borrowing money from my parents, everything. And along this riverbank, along right here, there's said to be a ton of gold. A bunch of people have struck it rich. This plot of land over here, they found a bunch of gold along here. Up in the waterfall area, there's been lots of pay dirt along through here that they found, and there's been gold. There's been gold all over here. And I'm hoping that since there's a waterfall right here, the water kind of flows down this way. In this curve is kind of a natural area for kind of the gold dust to wash up. In the curves is where you're going to find it, and even over in here. Now, we don't own the land here, but this curve right in there, I'm thinking could be a really good spot to look first. So, basically, yeah, right across here, the ferry, this is all our land that we picked up, and this little goat trail is going to take us up to where we've got our container set up, our home, our house, and our little sawmill and our kind of little cement factory, if you will. It's a very small little system. Now, what do I got with us right now? Now, as you can see, we got a front loader on the back. I'll try and zoom out a little bit here. I might kind of wait a bit till we get up there. Yeah, it might be a bit better as this trail's a little bit hairy. Actually, it's just this spot right there that's kind of steep. I was worried for a second, but we should be okay. So I've got 4,000 liters of diesel with us. I've got a slip tank in the back of this truck it'll hold about 389 liters, I believe. So got that with us. I've got a toolbox in the back for any repairs that we might need. I've got a chainsaw with us. We've got a kind of an attachment for the front loader that'll help us pick up trees. It's kind of a lifting unit. I've got a bucket and a set of forks so that we can kind of move stuff around. It's not very easy to get stuff out here. As you can see, we got to take the ferry and stuff to get stuff across. So if we do have to get more fuel and stuff in the future, we're really going to have to kind of plan our trips back to the warehouse accordingly. We can't just be running around. We really got to make sure that we have what we need kind of at once, especially for when winter hits. I don't know what the weather's going to be like out here, but I imagine there's going to be a ton of snow and it's going to be rough. So we got to get as much work as we can done before winter hits. That's like main goal, and this is it. This is our farm, or this is our area for right now. So what I'm gonna do, maybe, I wonder if I can spin around here and not hit any trees. We really got to clear some of this brush out, and we will. Now that we got the front loader in here, I'm just gonna kind of spin around so that it's gonna be easier for us to unload, and we'll be able to start doing some work. So I'm going to, let's just back up a little bit actually, because we got to get these pallets off. And I want to be able to kind of get to both sides of this trailer. So let's leave that sitting right there. We don't need to unfold that, but what we can do is let's unfold the tails, the beaver tails, the ramps, and we can kind of get everything set. But let's just do a quick little tour of everything, and then I'll get the loader offloaded and we'll kind of get set up. Okay, so here's our shipping container. Here's our home for the next little bit. We do have a beautiful view. There's a waterfall over here, and we actually have a waterfall behind us that comes off this mountain. And again, I'm hoping kind of in this dip we're going to find gold along this river. We're probably going to start digging up in this area once we get an excavator and just work our way along this whole curve, which, you know, could take us a couple of years. There's a lot that we have to dig up along that riverbank. But let's go check out the sawmill that I have real quick. Like I said, the boys came out and they dropped everything off, and so we've got a little bit of a sawmill here. It's nothing too fancy. It's just a saw with basically a couple sawhorses, but we'll be able to make planks, beams. We'll be able to get wood chips and stuff out of this, and then I also have kind of like a little facility here that we'll be able to input gravel in and hopefully make some cement, maybe make some roof tiles and things like that, which eventually I'm hoping we can build a cabin. Now I want to kind of build a cabin kind of over in the corner that's closer to the waterfall, but that's down the road, and yeah, that's a ways from us right now. The main thing that we have to do is we would need to start getting some of these trees cut down in this area and even out in this main area, because if all goes well and we can strike it rich and we can really make some money for gold, there's nice flat land out here, or relatively flat, and maybe just one day we could have a little bit of a farm out here as well as a gold mine. But one thing at a time. There's definitely one thing at a time. So we've got this front loader. It's not too bad. It's pretty good. You know, it's not the biggest one, but it's definitely going to do for us for now. So let's get everything unstrapped here. I'll get our diesel tanks unstrapped. I don't know where we're going to put everything just yet, but we will figure it all out. I'm going to get everything offloaded and just kind of squared away, and then we will start making a plan for trees that we're going to cut down, and we got to start getting some trees into this production facility like immediately, because we have $0 and we need some cash. All right, I got everything kind of offloaded off the trailer. I just kind of parked it off to the side now, and what I want to do is I want to kind of go through and just clear a bit of this land off for us, so we got just kind of somewhere to work and somewhere just to kind of see where we can park the trailer, where we can kind of organize some trees and stuff. Like, we're gonna have to bring a dozer in here at some point whenever we can afford one, and properly get all the get all this pushed out, and we'll get like a nice gravel pad and stuff built But for right now, I just want to clear some of this out. I mean, it's obviously some pretty rocky and crappy ground that we got to deal with, but it is really what it is for right now. Is that until we can get some money going and get some bigger equipment. That's really what the main goal is that we need an excavator. We need an excavator, even if we can only find like a small one. Even if we can only find a small one, that's fine. You know, there's always going to be time to upgrade and get bigger equipment. So for the minimal people that are around here, I've told them to kind of just keep their eyes and ears open, if you will, for a used small excavator. Anything that we can use. You know, I'm hoping some of the new excavators, like the new Komatsus or whatever, they're like 350 grand. You know, some of the really big ones are over $1 million, which obviously we can't afford even in the slightest. So even if we could find something for like 150,000, you know, used, a bit smaller, you know, it doesn't have to be anything fancy, just something that we can dig and we can start getting down on that riverbank and hopefully finding some pay dirt. That's, you know, that's really the goal. And we're gambling out here. I don't know if we're gonna find gold. I'm pretty sure we're going to. Other people have had a lot of success, and this seems to be like the area that's really gonna pop, and that's why it's not very populated right now. There's just really no one out here. No one's kind of willing to go out and kind of break trail into this bush because, I mean, it's expensive, it's hard, and it is a gamble, right? We don't really know what we're gonna find. The nice thing though is we do have logs. We have lumber. That we don't have to find that, it's all around us. And as long as we put work into the lumber, we will be able to make enough money to survive. And worst case, we just make enough money for me to pay back the land, you know, or make back the money that I paid for the land, and we cut our losses, we sell our equipment, and we leave. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think we're going to find gold. It's just a matter of time. And it's just going to be one step at a time. And so the first step is getting out here. Let's get offloaded. We've got a little bit of an area kind of cleared out for us right now. I'm going to go swap out this attachment. I've kind of just put all our attachments over here for right now so I don't lose it in any of this tall brush. That's also why I wanted to clear some stuff out, just in case we're going to set this stuff down. We don't lose any of it. Now I'm going to hook onto this attachment. This is going to be kind of like our log, or yeah, like our tree moving attachment, if you will, if I can get spun at it. I might have to get at it from the other side. See if we can kind of get around to the other side somehow. But this one's going to help us move trees around and get it into the sawmill. Some of the trees are close enough that we might be able to just fall it right into the sawmill, but some we're going to have to move around with this unit. Let me just back up here. And we really got to get some of these trees cleared out. There we go. I had it offloaded backwards, but this thing is going to work real good. We'll be able to pick the trees up. We can kind of strap to it and start getting some trees into this production facility. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go through, I'm going to cut down some trees, and then we'll start moving them around and getting them into the sawmill. We need to make planks, long planks, and beams. That's going to be our first kind of mission. Okay, so I'm really just going through right now, and I'm focusing on trying to get some of the bigger trees down. I'm not really worrying about any of the smaller trees. You know, trees like this aren't going to do too much for us in the sawmill. So some of these I'm just kind of getting demolished and getting taken right out of our way. I say that now and it's not really doing it for me. And just kind of going through trying to clear out. And now some of these bigger trees, obviously this is what we're looking for. We want to cut down these ones. These are gonna help us the most. We'll be able to refine this into planks, logs, and beams, especially the long planks, much better than the small ones. So I really want to be, you know, since trees are kind of our main commodity out here, I'm not worrying about going through getting all these small ones. I really want to go through and get these big ones kind of chopped down. I'm making sure to demolish the stump afterwards as well. And I'm trying to clear out some of this brush as we go, you know, as well, so I can kind of see what's going on. I'm sure we'll run into this stuff with the front loader a little bit, but yeah, this is what I'm working on as we go. And we're going to jump to the front loader real quick and start getting some of this stuff into the sawmill. All right, so this is how this like front attachment unit works. It's really awesome. It's got like straps connect to it, so I can just kind of come up to a unit, or come up to a tree rather. I just go down with it. I can hit the straps and it'll connect to it, and then we can haul it around. It's like it's really handy. It's a cool mod. It's super handy, especially for doing this. So if I just come up here, kind of get down there. Sometimes you gotta just like finesse it a little bit, kind of move it around so it'll grab it. And like as you can see, let me just get spun around here. You can see there's like straps on it, and yeah, so it's a really handy mod and helps me move this stuff around. Now I'm gonna have to cut down some of these other trees over here so that we can kind of get to the backside of the sawmill hill to drop it all in. But I basically just got to get over the I just got to get over the drop off, and it'll take it into the sawmill, which is great. So we just got to keep spinning around here. I got to go through and just get all these trees put in. Like, I mean, we've already cleared out a really good area here. So to clear the rest of this kind of flat spot over here won't take too long. And now I want to get a good spot of this cleared out, just because we're going to need to have our trommel and stuff set up for the gold mining, but we got to get that, we got to pay for that and get it brought out here yet, which we obviously have $0. So there's like a lot of things that we're going to have to be kind of prepared for, and that's why I'm kind of trying to clear this area out first, get these big trees out of our way. These will be the most beneficial for us. It'll help us make the most planks, beams, and all that stuff, and then we'll kind of head into the forest this back way, where you can obviously see there's just like a ton of really massive trees. And yeah, so I'm gonna keep going here. I'm gonna get this thing full of trees, and then we'll start going in. We'll set up our facility and start making beams, planks, and long planks. Okay, so as you can see, we've cleared out quite a bit of land. I cleared out a whole bunch, and I've just been, you know, obviously stacking all the wood and stuff into the production facility, into the sawmill here, and we're making a good amount of beams, a really good amount. You know, I wonder if I can get all of these. 2 at a time is going to work just fine for us. So I'm going to start loading some of these up onto the trailer and get ready to sell them off. Now we're going to get a pretty decent price for these in October. It's not going to be the best. I think technically speaking March is the best, but it's like it's pretty close, you know, and we need money right now. Like I had to put some stuff on my credit card for our production costs out here, so we're down money, you know, we're down $88. We really need some cash. It's okay though, if I got to do a little bit more on the credit card over the next little bit, I will. But I just wanted to bring you in here and kind of show you how I'm loading these up. This attachment just works great all around. This like strap mechanism that's on there is just, it's phenomenal. It really is. It makes moving the trees around and everything just so much easier. So much easier. Okay, let's just back up a little bit there. Drop those off. Perfect. Okay. Now, I want to go through and let's go cut down some more trees. We might as well just keep going here, keep cutting down trees. I figured I'd bring you back in for a little bit more of this. I've just been working my way kind of into the bush this way and up that way a little bit, but mostly out here just because the trees are so much more massive that we just get, it's just better all around. We get so much more like liters, if you will, per tree. Like this tree is just massive. And so I kind of try and fall them all the same way. I guess it's actually technically called felling a tree, right? Technically, right? If we were actual lumberjacks, the actual lumberjack would probably make fun of us for saying falling trees. But that's okay. We're definitely not a real lumberjack. We're not real gold miners either, and we might even not be real farmers, so I don't know. I don't know. We're just faking it till we make it out here and hoping for the best. But yes, I've just been kind of clearing my way into the bush. Obviously this way, like these trees are just massive, 35.8 meters, almost 36 meters tall. And I've been getting the stumps out as I go. And next month we will be heading up to sell off all of our beams. Now it's looking like the warehouse is going to give us the best price for the beams. I thought originally I'd be taking them to the sawmill and they'd be giving us a good price, but the sawmill really just wants, you know, they refine lumber up there. They don't want any of this refined lumber. That's not really their thing, which I guess kind of makes sense. I figured they would sell all types, but I was wrong. So the warehouse is where we'll be taking it to, which, you know what, is honestly better because the warehouse is much closer. Oh, there's a woodpecker around. He's probably mad that we're cutting down all his trees. I gotta try and get this. Might have to leave that. There we go. I don't like leaving those behind because they end up messing if we're trying to build something. And speaking of building something, there was a couple guys that came out just to see what we were doing out here. They heard that there was kind of a new guy cutting down trees and clearing some land and trying his hand at some gold. And, you know, they looked at the shipping container and they kind of laughed at me and they said, "Is that where you're staying?" And I told them that I wanted to build a cabin. And they gave me plans and stuff for a cabin. And there's like, basically what I got to do is I got to put a deposit down and they can come out and they'll kind of get everything set up for us. Now we still got to cut the lumber and do, get the gravel and the roof tiles and everything put in there so that this cabin can get built, but they kind of get it set up for us. Now I got to give them a deposit, which is a couple grand, and they come out and they just kind of do a little bit of the, not foundation work, but they just get the plot all set up. They kind of survey it, measure it all out for you. And yeah, it costs a couple grand, which we have negative $88. And but they said, they seen how many beams and stuff we were making. They're like, once you get some cash going, come give us a deposit. We'll come out and we'll kind of get a spot picked for you that'll be good for a cabin. I kind of roughly told them where I wanted it, and they're like, they didn't look too hard. They're busy. They got stuff to do, but they figured it wouldn't be a problem. So that is good because the shipping container will get old very quickly. Very quickly. Alright, see if we can get these trees in. It's slow going, but it's also, like, pretty good. If this is what we got to do to get some cash flow going out here. I also talked to those guys and told them, I need an excavator. That's really what I need. My budget is going to be, I told them around that, I told them 100K, and they're like, that's probably not really going to be doable. You're going to have to probably spend a little bit more than that. So, I don't know, 150, 175K. If we can find something for that price, that would be great. If not, oh well. Try and dig this tree out from underneath. There we go. See, it's a little bit cumbersome. Like, it's a little bit, you gotta finesse it, but it still works pretty good. It's just a little bit of a fight to get it over here. And once we do, we're in. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna keep moving these trees around. I'm gonna try and get some more lumber into that sawmill. Get as many beams as we can made up. I'll bring you guys back in October when we're gonna head up to the warehouse and we'll sell everything off. We'll have to take the ferry across, and I'll kind of make a list of stuff. If we need anything else while we're up there, we'll grab it. But yeah, that'll be the plan. And yeah, I'll see you guys back in October. Alright, crew, we are loaded up. It is October. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. The sun has not popped over the mountains just yet, and we're going to head up to the warehouse. I was trying to get loaded a little bit sooner, but it was dark, and, as you can see, my load is questionable at best anyways, so we're going to head up to the warehouse and sell off these beams. We should have a good chunk of coin sitting in these beams, but for what we still got to buy and get set up to do this gold mining, like, it's not going to be enough. So even though I'm thinking we're going to do pretty good on this sale, we'll get us out of our hole. I had to put some more money on my credit card, so we're down 316 bucks. Even though we'll dig us out of that hole, yeah, we still got to buy an excavator. We need to probably, eventually we're going to have to upgrade that front loader. We're going to probably need some sort of a dump truck, maybe a dozer. Yeah, we're definitely going to need a dozer at some point to clear some good land. We still got so much to do. We got to get a kind of like a trommel slash big sluice box, if you will, set up so that we can take the pay dirt, if we find the pay dirt, get it in there and get the concentrate out. So yeah, lots of money that we got to spend. Lots of money, and hopefully hopefully this is a good load, and then we can just get some more logging and stuff done before the snow comes. Springtime, we'll go sell off a whole bunch more, and then hopefully start getting some gold mine going. Also, I'm excited. I'm going to talk to the guys. I told them I was coming in. I was going to take this ferry across, and I'm going to go pay the deposit for them to come out and kind of get everything set up for a cabin. So I'm excited for that. Let's shut this down. All right, let's go activate this and head up to the warehouse and sell off our beams. I'll take the ferry and stuff right now, and I'll meet you guys over there. All right, we are just pulling into the warehouse here. I'm pretty sure the drop-off for this stuff is around back. This is kind of a heavy load for this 3/4 ton, I'm not gonna lie. We might have to look at getting a 1 ton at some point. Yeah, this looks like it's gonna be the drop-off right here. All right, team, moment of truth. How much cash will we make? Not too bad. Not too bad. We made like over 200 grand. Well, just about 200 grand. Yeah, not too bad. That's really good. Okay, now I told the boys, the cabin guys, that I would be here around 8:30. I thought it would take us a little bit longer, so I'm just gonna go in. I'm gonna talk to the people in the store here and just let them know that we're still really looking for a used excavator. That's going to be the main thing. I'll try and wheel and deal and see what trucking costs are going to be for if we were to get one, how much it's going to cost to truck it out to that plot, or even, you know, worst case, if they don't want to go down that goat trail, even just get me across the ferry and we could walk it in from there. It would take a bit of time, but if that's what we got to do to save some money, because they might charge us quite a bit if we got to truck down those roads. Maybe not, though. It all depends, though. You know, they don't want to truck that in the spring. Those roads would be too muddy. So ideally, I already know what he's going to say is he's going to want to bring it out in the wintertime when it's nice and frozen, and it's going to be better for him. They can chain up and get in there. But yeah, I'm going to talk to those guys. I'm going to pay the deposit for the cabin. I'll meet you guys back out there. Always open 24/7. I'll pay the deposit for the cabin, and I'll meet you guys back up at the plot, and we'll continue logging. All right, we are just on our way back to the cabin, or up to the container, not cabin yet. I got cabin on the mind. I talked to those guys. It was actually $2,500 for the deposit. It's actually like a full price. They come out, they set up the whole area, and then they leave. And they want to come do it before the snow hits. They said they're going to come out in November and kind of get it all set up for us. I said, well, like, what do I got to do? Like, what lumber do we need out there? And they're just like planks, beams, long planks. You're going to need concrete for the foundation, the footings, and blah, blah, blah. You know, kind of the stuff I already knew. And I was like, well, I need an excavator. So everybody's basically on the look for an excavator for us. I told everyone around 100 grand, which they all kind of said, yeah, right. In these parts, like, you know, not in these parts, you know, you don't just come across good deals like that. So I don't really know how much we're going to have to spend, but if it's around 150 to 200, depending on the size of it and the age, if it's a really old piece, maybe we might be able to get a little bit bigger one. If it's more newer, then we're probably going to have to get a smaller unit and just deal with it. But, you know, only time will tell with that. The one thing that I know for sure is that we got to get back. We got to keep logging. There's more land to clear. I told them where I know where I'm going to kind of want to put the cabin. So I'm going to go up there and start clearing some land, all that stuff. It's going to be the normal stuff, just going back and forth with the loader. Whoa, jackknifing this trailer a little bit. And, I mean, look at the waterfall, though, in the morning time. Like, we just need a couple years. Could 5, 6 years out here, and I think we could build ourselves a pretty beautiful little chunk of this earth. And we'll get this shipping container out of here. Maybe we'll keep it for old time's sake. I got my laundry strung up. And, yeah, got the laundry strung up. And that's about it. Okay. I'm going to keep going. I'll bring you guys back in November once the boys come out and kind of get everything set up for the cabin. I'm going to go over and kind of clear a spot for it, you know, so the back deck kind of can eventually look at the waterfall. It'll be pretty nice when it's all said and done. All right, everyone, welcome to November. We've been just kind of plugging away all day, kind of all through the month of November here. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I wanted to bring you in because the boys just left. They just left kind of getting everything set up for the cabin area. I'm just kind of cruising around here, getting the last of these trees brought over and put into the sawmill. I kind of built a little bit of a road in for him. Not really much. I just kind of cleared a little bit of the brush away with the bucket on this thing. We'll head over there in just a second to take a look at it. As you can see, we got some more beams, we got some wood planks and stuff, and some long planks there that have been produced. I wasn't really too sure what we'll need for the cabin, but now that the guys left, I've got kind of a better idea of everything. I also got to pay them another 2,500 bucks, which I should transfer to them right now. Actually, let's just transfer that to them right now. Got to pay them another 2,500, and then they're all squared away for what they did. Now it's kind of just up to us to get everything put together. They said if they got any questions, obviously, but they left me like the plans and yeah, kind of the requirements for it. So I slowly got to get beams, planks, footings, all that stuff built. We'll go take a look at it right now, and I'll show you where I decided to kind of put it, and then we'll come back over here and we'll start loading stuff up. I mean, it's 3 o'clock and that sun is already starting to set behind the mountains over there. Like we're burning daylight quick up in this backcountry. Now that it's November, December's going to be even worse. But yeah, it is what it is. We knew that winter would be a little bit weird up here. I don't know how much snow and stuff we're going to get, so I'm still just trying to get as much of the logging and stuff done as possible. Now that I've kind of worked over there, I'm going to kind of start clearing over on this side a little bit, but this is where the cabin will end up going. Let's shut this thing down. Yeah, I mean, I figured this would be such a perfect little spot for it. It's nice and flat. It's kind of central and everything. I got some supplies in here ready to go. Got a mixing unit and all that stuff. But yeah, the boys just kind of set this fenced up area just so none of the animals get in and mess with it. Not that they probably will. I'm sure they'll get some squirrels under that tarp, but it is what it is. So we need 1,000 liters of wood beam, 1,000 planks, long planks, and then 1,000 liters of just straight up planks. Now there's also going to be a bunch more stuff that we end up needing with the footings, the foundation, and kind of everything. But yeah, this is going to be our little this is where it's gonna sit. Our back deck will be right here, just a few steps from the water, so we can go fishing. Maybe we'll get a boat. Who knows? One thing at a time. One thing at a time. Let's jump back in this unit. Head back over, and yeah, I gotta keep cutting, but I want to load some stuff onto our trailer. And there's been no bites on an excavator. We're still, yeah, still waiting. But I talked to those guys, and they said, you know, if you can't get an excavator, they might be able to find us a dozer for around that 150 grand ish. And so what I was thinking is, if we can't get a excavator right away, maybe what we'll do is I'll try and get a dozer, and if I can get one with a ripper on it, we might be able to go over kind of by the riverbank and start ripping some of the riverbank up, and that way we can get some gravel. Oh, kind of grabbed everything there. I didn't really think it would. Let's see if we can just grab this. Oh, might have to just use the forks here. I don't want to grab all that stuff. I just wanted to grab the beams. This thing works good. It works a little too good. Alright, well, let's load these planks up. You know, I want to take these planks over and obviously put them in the cabin, but if we can get a dozer and if we possibly can get a excavator, I just want to wait on the cabin. The cabin is going to be an awesome thing, and I would really look forward to it, but the main focus is gold mining. And if we can get money to fund the gold mine, to fund equipment, that's what I want to save money for right now. And I know that we have endless lumber, we have endless planks and stuff that we can make for that cabin, but what we don't have is endless time before winter and endless money to buy equipment if the opportunity arises. Because if we can get a dozer and we can start ripping that riverbank up, what I can do is I can use the bucket with this front loader, and we can start getting some gravel and start building the cement and the footings and all that stuff for the cabin, which would be like a little bit more important than planks. I mean, we got to have a foundation down before we can put up walls. So that's kind of my thought process there. Stockpile lumber through the winter, keep loading it up on this trailer. That way in the springtime, I know March we can go off and we can sell a bunch of the beams. I'm not really going to worry too much about time of year and the best time to sell everything. We're just going to sell it when we get it. I talked to the truckers when I was at the store as well, and they told me what I already knew, which was if we want equipment brought right to like our plot here, we got to do it in cold months. If it's the springtime and it's muddy, then they're going to bring it to the other side of the ferry and we have to walk it in, which is totally makes sense. I mean, no one wants to truck on muddy roads. It's like almost impossible. It's not impossible, but it's very, very difficult. So I might just leave these short planks in there for right now. But yeah, I got to keep going. Got to keep getting some more trees and stuff cut down. And the process just continues. We're going to be going through trying to get as much lumber and stuff built this winter, and hopefully in the springtime, like I said, we can get an excavator. But if not, they did say there is a dozer, and yeah, either way we can have kind of a plan with everything. I'm going to leave these lights on because we're going to need the lights. So I guess you guys already kind of know what I'm going to be doing the next month or so through the winter. You know, I'm probably going to end the episode here, and we'll continue on next episode. We'll continue on logging and, like I said, working towards those goals. Hopefully we'll be able to get a good chunk of equipment next episode. That's going to be our main goal, and then mining can really start. So thank you guys so much for watching this episode. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Hopefully you're going to stick with me on this series. I'm really looking forward to it. I think we've got a good opportunity here and a good little plot of land to make something pretty cool out here, and I really look forward to that. So hopefully you guys have a good afternoon, morning, evening, whenever it is that you're watching this episode. I'll see you guys on episode 2, and thanks again for stopping by. Have a good one.